Hey everyone, welcome back. So it's been a few days since I filmed anything. There was just a lot of welding and grinding and welding and grinding, and it didn't make for very fun video, so I didn't film it. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw a few updates along the way. The video series so far is kind of a dud. I mean, you know, maybe things will catch on over time, but I think I put the last video up about 2 weeks ago, and last time I looked it had like less than 20 views. So I'm not going to break my back trying to get updates up all the time on this. You know, if it gets to a point eventually where people are actually following along and more interested, maybe I'll make a more concerted effort, but it's kind of a lot of work, and I just want to come out here and work sometimes, and I don't want to mess around with cameras and stuff. And this is just going to be part of a montage again where you kind of get little updates here and there, but, you know, and then I'll post it when I get 10 or 15 minutes worth of stuff. So let me show you what we did. Okay, so the most obvious thing is all three sides of one frame rail have now been wrapped. I rounded over the tops with the flap wheel. I did not do this because grinding fillet welds is a pain. I'm not the best welder. I'm confident these are strong, but they're just not terribly pretty. But it doesn't really matter because it's all going to be under the body. This isn't going to the Lowrider Super Show and it's going to be up on a turntable with mirrors under it or anything. I'm going to be driving it. So I'm just leaving those welds, and it's all going to get painted the same satin black as the front suspension there. This is still getting cleaned up. I was doing the best I could with the die grinder, but trying to blend that in a little bit. And I was just trying to get the front mounts all sorted. This one is on, which is just reinforcement for something. The motor mount brackets, I'm still figuring out that exact location. These two guys go here and here. And I think I've got the location. Here's the spots I found using my template, and here's where I think it actually is. So I was off about a ½ inch, but you know, that can probably be accounted for just with the thickness of the metal and how it bent and everything, but I'm measuring in about 20 different ways and taking the average and hoping I end up about right, and if I don't, I can always run a drill bit through before I put any bolts in. There's a couple holes on top. This one I just about nailed and got it perfect. You can tell because when you get through the plate, then you hit the original hole. So this one pretty much nailed. You can see clear through to the floor. This one, I ended off a little bit. You can tell I started over here and it kind of wandered in. But again, none of that really matters. There's that gusset I was talking about adding here. I just want to get all my brackets put back on this side, and then I'll spin the whole frame around 180 degrees and get to this side. I used to be able to lift this frame so I could pick up one end and set it on jack stands and then pick up the other end and set it on jack stands. I don't think I can lift half of it anymore. I added too much weight already, so it's going to be fun to move around. But you can see here's the original thickness. And here we are now. Oh, and these curves, as I suspected, these are for the radiator support. And this gives me still plenty of clearance. And I think I finally decided this is for the emergency brake, and it originally went down there and then had like another lever that went to the K-member, which went to cables to the back. And that K-member is going, and those cables are probably going to be in the way of the 4-link and everything. So I think I'm just going to hack that off, cut around this, or make a new bracket so I can still bolt the body to it. But I think that's going to go. And I will probably hook up the handle in the car for the emergency brake to an electric switch and hook it up to a linear actuator to actuate the emergency brakes, but we'll see. That's about 5 years down the road. So there you have it, making some progress. I'm gonna feel a lot more confident putting hydraulics on this and actually using them. Maybe I'll splurge and go up to 36 volts instead of 24. All right, everyone, it's time for another quick update. You can probably tell I've been working. It's been a pretty long Saturday. It's almost 10 o'clock. I'm ready to go home and call it a day, but I just wanted to show you what I've been up to, so let me turn you around. Okay, I made a little more progress. The mounts, those two are now attached. This is still sitting here. Got some weird issues because now that the plate's on here, there's a piece that comes up here to hold the motor, so I have to bolt that here to figure out where this goes, and I can't bolt that there. Anyway, long story. So what I got going on here, you see I got some bars clamped across. This front one is just straight across the front, as close to, I don't know how I would say that, perpendicular to the frame lengthwise, but as close as I can get it to just a perfectly straight reference to measure off of. And I've been using that to figure out where the mounts go, where these holes go, everything like that. So now I have this bar clamped down to help me try to locate these goofy mounts in the back. Okay, so clearly these are not salvageable. The other one, I kind of welded in some patches and I don't know, it was okay, but I probably wouldn't have jumped on it, and it's supposed to hold the weight of a car body. But these are weird shaped because they're not level with anything, the top or the bottom. They kind of hang down below. It's not parallel to the frame. It's, I think, parallel to what the ground is supposed to be. And then also they come out this way and it comes down this way. And it's just a weird shape. And I sat out here for a while trying to figure out what I would do. You know, if this were a Mustang or a Jeep or something, they would sell these things that you just, it'd be like 20 bucks and you weld it on and you're done. But 53, 54 Chevys do not have that wide support, so I had to make something, and that's basically what I did all day. So to locate this, I have this bar kind of shimmed up here to be parallel with this mounting surface, and this front edge of the bar in line with the center of the hole, with any luck. Let me remove this. You can see when I set the combination square up on here, that ends up in the middle of the hole. And then also, up and down, I have it transferred, I don't know if you can see, to a Sharpie line here. So that's what I'm doing to locate on this side before I cut that mount off. So now I can come over here, line it up with this Sharpie, about right there. And now this corner should be the center of the hole. So that's where these came in. This is what I've been building tonight. A couple pieces of 2-inch strap, some 1/8-inch sheet on the side, a couple more strips here, cut, weld it up. The idea is this sits somewhere around here. Still needs to be some final trimming and things, but basically that can attach right there. And by using this piece of unistrut, I can get it lined up perfect with the original, weld it on, and then when I cut off that side, I can match it up to this side. And I'm not going to drill the holes because I figure I can set the body on top and then transfer them easier, and that should eliminate some of that error. You can see that they're mirror images. It's got one shorter leg. Here's the original that I cut off here. You can see where I'd welded in some metal. But this was the good one, so it was time. That would have gone somewhere around here, and I basically made some new ones from scratch. And that took me all night. So now you know what I've been up to. It's getting done. You thought I was dirty yesterday. It's Sunday. It's been another long day. Let me show you what I got done. It has been the day of brackets. Got one of those that I made on. I made a couple of these, one for this side and one for the other. I made a few of these out of a piece of channel. That's about it. Man, that really doesn't look like 4 hours of work or whatever. But I think I have one more bracket to put on, which is this thing. And I measured it, and it's almost exactly 3 inches square. So I'm going to see about getting a piece of 3-inch square tubing and chopping it at an angle and just kind of welding it on. And the other side should go a little more quickly. Because I don't have to make any of these brackets. We're almost to that point. So if I had to guess, I would say the next day I'm working out here, I'm going to attach one more bracket, and then it's time to flip the whole thing around. On to the next one. All right, it's flipped. Now I get to do what I just did all over again. I probably won't film a lot of it because you've already seen most of that happen. So this will probably wrap up this installment. So we'll see you in the next one.